Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is your host, Joe Mambu from Let's Be Real Sports.
And this is your boy Big Sherm.
What's going on, everyone? This episode is called episode 99, and it is called The NBA is Back. Uh, but there's some stuff that we want to talk about before with the whole George Floyd thing. Not necessarily how is it affecting sports, because sports is just like a small, minute thing when it comes to life matters. Um, but we just want to talk about the George Floyd thing because I think a lot of us, well, not a lot of us, I think most of us, if not all of us, is upset about what has transpired with this George Floyd thing. Yeah, the cop got arrested, and I hear that, but it's not enough. I need some convictions. I need shit to turn around because this it's not the first. He's not the first. He's not going to be the last, and it surely is disheartening, and it's tiring. One of the questions I ask myself is, what can we truly do to make a difference? Right? How can we stop this? Right? Um, if you're going jogging, you're a threat. You know, over a fake $20 bill, you're a threat. Like it's ridiculous. And what transpired with the whole George Floyd thing, it's just disheartening, man. And I really try to find answers because I have a kid myself. I'm a black man. I got friends who, most of my friends are black. My co-host Big Sherm is black. My producer is black. Like, what I'm saying? So it's like these things that are going on. I really just want to find a true way to combat it. I know people are protesting, people are rioting, and that's like I don't have an issue with that. I don't have an issue with the looting, but I really more so want to try to find out what we can necessarily do, right? Because that's important, man. This shit sucks, and Big Sherm, I'm gonna let you elaborate a little bit more on this whole thing.
I mean, just watching it the past 3 days, man, it just your heart just broken. I see Steven Jackson, I see Cat out there from the Timberwolves. They're out there, they're supporting a fallen brother who didn't have to die. He did not have to die that way.
Yeah,
And you just go back to Abner Louima. It goes to all the names you hear. It's the same thing over and over again, and it just hurt. It just hurts so much. It this thing trans like sports is just secondary, like you said, to the whole thing going on right now. Like
yeah,
this is a bigger issue than we ever thought, and now everything's and the whole thing is the backdrop of it is this is the whole COVID-19 thing going on, and people are risking their lives to go out there and protest.
yeah,
They're risking their lives to go out there and protest. They're saying they're sick and tired of being sick and tired. It just heartbreaking to see. Like Steve Jack, that was his friend.
yeah,
That was his friend. That had his that the situation happened to. And I tried not to even look at that tape because it's so sickening to watch. And I feel it. Like I was having trouble trying to write something about it, but I'm saying to myself, what could I write about it? You know? It's like every time I try to write something, something else happened. The last past 3 days, I've been watching protests, mass protests, people just saying F curfew. This is something more important. This is something more important.
yeah,
Because where is the change going to come from? How are we going to change this? If we can change this.
yeah.
Because it feels like it's going to keep happening and happening over and over again. You know? I got friends out there that went out there Saturday night in New York City. They went out there and was fighting the cause, pepper sprayed and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah. One of my friends, she got pepper sprayed, and you watch it on the news and you hear it, but it kind of hit home when you get that text, right? That your friend just got pepper sprayed, and it just sucks. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just I just don't know what to do because my initial reaction is just to honestly just to act with violence, like the most animalistic way possible. Because
But
I am tired. Because it's ridiculous. Because it's it's uh it's like
and so you don't even know what to say because it's been going on for so long. It's been going on for so long, you don't know what to say no more. Like I've been on Facebook, I've seen people who are cops on who cops who've posted their pictures on Facebook and stuff like that, and people are just like, nah, we don't want to hear that.
yeah,
You know,
man.
and I'm pretty sure these are good cops, but the majority is like, nah, we ain't trying to hear that no more. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna sit there and this is what they were saying on Facebook? These were the conversations being had
Yeah.
because people have been seeing it for so long, and it rips at me because like, damn, this man's trying to sit here and say, oh, he's a good cop, but at the end of the day, people are like, yeah, 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 right. You sitting there with them. It's like it's something like people don't want to hear right now.
Yeah. I
I,
mean, yeah, go ahead. My bad, Sherman.
no, no, no. But I mean, people don't want to hear it right now.
Yeah.
They want concrete solutions.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you do want the concrete solutions. And, I see the posts about, there's good cops, but, bro, I don't care. Like, stop them, right? They're part of your unit. You work you work alongside them. Like, stop them. Like, what's stopping you from stopping them? And that's the thing.
We just trying to live. We trying to make money. We trying to do everything right in every world, and we just keep getting off for no reason.
Yeah.
It hurt.
Yeah,
It
for
just
sure.
hurt. It almost bring you to tears. I'm
Yeah.
I'm sitting here 3 nights in a row trying to fight back tears, seeing this happen over and over again. You know,
Yeah.
people calling for celebrity to come out there. They say where they at. They say they take our money all the time, but now when it's time to think, there ain't nobody out there.
Yeah. I mean,
I've been
that's yeah, go ahead.
I've been seeing it all the way down Facebook lately. It's since yesterday. I watched CNN yesterday. Don Lemon. He was calling out a lot of names out there. Well, y'all, and I understand. You know, hey, they got they don't want to be seen out there and stuff like that. I understand that. But Nick Cannon was out there.
And Nick Cannon got lupus, right?
I believe so. That's before I understand.
Yeah.
But I don't care what you got. If you're out there on the front line, you're out there on the front line. You're saying something. You're
Yeah.
speaking for the people. You know, it's just a crazy thing, man. I it's like I don't know where else to go with this, man, because it's. And then I saw somebody on the news yesterday. He spoke so eloquently about why he was out there,
Yeah.
like he was trying to preserve his future and everything. He wasn't down with the looting and stuff like that, the looting and everything going on. He was just out there protesting, trying to promote his strong. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen that footage by now of that young man out there voicing his using his voice to say why he was out there and why he was doing it the right way. And I commend that man so much.
Yeah, yeah. It was a young kid, right? I saw that
Hmm.
video. Yeah, yeah. I did see that. Even when he was explaining it, man, it kind of broke my heart because he's young, dog. Like you supposed to be enjoying and living your life as best
I
as you can during this whole pandemic. You know what I mean? Like you could really go anywhere and do anything, but then it's like we get this George Floyd thing, and it's like who's the next contender for the upcoming month, right? That seems to be the theme. It's something that is happening every month, and it sucks. I pray everything's get better. And I don't know, man. I really don't know. And like obviously when the show is done, I'll talk to more people about it and see how to be proactive and see what I could do more because I need to do more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I have a legacy myself with my kid, and I need to be more active. You know what I mean? But all right, sure. Anything else on it before we
the last thing I have to say, and it's probably the solution to everything, just go vote. That's all you got to do.
yeah.
Go vote.
Okay.
Let's
All
roll
right.
on.
So we're gonna switch gears, switch topic just a little bit. It's some good news and all the fucking dumb shit that's happening in the world. The NBA is slated to come back July 31st. Right now, that's the tentative date. And I know we should all be feel a little bit better about the NBA coming back. Right?
I mean, it's. I mean, sports is always needed as a distraction. Of course, given all that's going on right now,
Yeah.
and the NBA is that type of food that people need. Well, in the midst of it, I'm pretty sure people will. I'm pretty sure players out there will have their say on the court when this thing starts rolling up and everything like that. But
Yeah.
I really hope basketball can come back into play and to really get things going again, get a little lively. But what's going on is very
Yeah.
important. It needs to be done. But when we can get to some type of resolution towards that, you can enjoy basketball again. And the 31st sounds good, but but at the same time with the whole COVID thing now, you gotta make sure these people are protected properly.
Yeah, so the NBA has taken steps to do that. They're talking about having it at Disney in Orlando. Apparently, the facility is large enough. The NBA is thinking about using three full courts. Now, they won't be as great as the NBA arenas, but it will be able to bring you back some basketball. Along with that, the commissioner, along with the governors, are trying to agree on a different format, more of like a World Cup style format, where there's a play into to win in tournament, kind of like NCAA, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what it would be is it would be four brackets, right?
Mm-hmm.
Four brackets, five teams each. So right now you're looking at the top eight from each team, right? That's the 16, obviously. With the teams with the best record, they would section off into different brackets. So the thing is, this playoff may be a little bit different. And Adam Silver had talked about, kind of changing up the format just a little bit because we all know we don't want to see Milwaukee versus Orlando, right? Right.
But that's the seeding.
No, and
They-
I hear you, but like I mean, it's been like this forever, right?
Mhm.
And it hasn't the playoffs, the first rounds haven't been really interesting because you know who's going home, right? You have had some upsets in histories where number 8 has beaten number 1 or number 8 went to the finals.
Mhm.
But I think this World Cup style and making this bracket of the top 4 teams and having, 20 teams in, and you have to have this tournament style. So essentially the tournament style would be the first round. They're talking about eliminating the first round, right? And the top 4 teams, which I think is with the best records, Milwaukee, Lakers, Clippers, and someone else. I'm not too sure. I have to look at that. But they're just talking about having those 4 brackets, them playing, and then the teams that are 5 to 6 games within making the playoffs have a chance to play into the tournament. And then, go ahead.
You talk about you talking about the bottom teams too, like Portland, Sacramento, those guys, or just those 16?
No, so the 8 teams are obviously there, right? So this is the tier. Let me give you the tier 1 as the records go now. Bucks, Lakers, Raptors, Clippers. Those are the creme de la creme, right?
Right.
Those are the guys that will be able to choose who they want to play. Those 4 teams.
Oh, they're doing it like the G League.
I guess. I'm
Because
starting to watch G League.
No. But the G League has a thing where the top teams would pick who they want to play.
Yeah.
Depending on matchups and stuff like that, and it would trickle all the way down that way.
Yeah.
So the G League has something like that. But to me, and I like this, the 16 format to me is just an easy way for LeBron James to get a championship, basically. Because
I can see that.
Because if you think about it, The 1 seed and the 4 seed would be on one bracket, and they're the 2 seed on the other side, and there's no one to challenge them. And if you think about it, if they reseed after the first series of games, after the first round, basically,
Yeah.
the Clippers and the Lakers wouldn't meet until the semifinals if they would get there that far.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and I've heard a lot of people say, "Oh, this is BS. Just keep it 8 versus 8, East versus West, and let them collide."
Well, that's the thing too. The NBA lost a lot of money, right? So while players care about championships, governors necessarily don't, right?
Right.
I think with this whole reseeding, this whole abolishing of the conferences, this World Cup system is a perfect way, right? Because now you have new matchups.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to see maybe Zion in the playoffs. You get to see maybe John Morant. You get to see freaking De'Aaron Fox. Like guys necessarily who wouldn't be making it. Maybe even the Suns. I think the Suns might be a part of it as well.
Not the Suns. It'd be, from what I understand, it would be Portland, Sacramento, Memphis, New Orleans, and Washington, because in the East they're the only team within the striking distance. But John Wall would be back. If anything, I believe this is giving him the time to come back. He might be able to come back, but who knows?
You know, I love me some John Wall.
Yeah, of course.
Me some John Wall.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
But I mean, this is interesting because this is the thing. It's like when you watch the All-Star game and you see the captains picking their players, right? It's kind of exciting, and they need to recuperate some of that TV money, right? So with this World Cup system and the incentive of the players, the teams with the top 4 winning record, getting to choose who they want to play, you can now televise this event, right? You could televise this event, and at the same time, obviously the top 4 teams for the first round want to pick the easiest competition, right?
It's almost disrespectful in a way.
It is disrespectful, but then it becomes must-see TV because then it's like the team in which they pick now have a chip on their shoulder. Oh, you want to play us first because you think we're going to be easy? We're just going to be a doormat? And then what happens if they beat them? You know what I'm saying? Like, I would love if they do, like, if anytime there's a time to experiment with this format, this World Cup style, is now, right? I know Adam Silver been talking about it because the regular season is kind of mundane, right? Like, you go on this 82 game thing, stretch.
And the season starts in November with still college football's going on, when the NFL's going on.
Yeah.
When you have...
go ahead.
And you have these things going on. The season don't really start until Christmas.
Yeah, so that's the
Christmas
thing.
Day.
So with the season recommencing so late, because of this whole pandemic, they're actually talking about that they may start the 2020-21 season in December. That's when it really feels like games are starting anyway for most people. I know, at least for me. I can't talk for most people. I know I said most people, but I can't talk for most people. But I
remember the Christmas Day game of the Bulls versus Knicks. That was must-see TV.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Must-see TV, and it carried on and carried on. It's kind of leveled off a little bit over the years, but it gained back a little bit with the LeBron beef and all that. With LeBron beef with teams like the Warriors and stuff like that. So it's gotten back a little bit. But if you want to try it now, you can try it now to see if you really can do it. I think the NBA can do it.
I think it can. Unconventional times calls for unconventional methods. I think this is a way to reignite fans who kind of stop watching basketball because of the 5 years of Golden State. Just a way to kind of just reignite fans into being like, hey, it's not about the conferences. It's about who wants to push for the best record in the league, in the top 4. They get to be the top tier of their brackets, and they get to choose who they want to play in the first round. And you get to see the bottom feeders, or not necessarily the bottom feeders, because you could kind of agree there's some teams that don't make the playoffs that you would kind of rather see, but because they didn't win their division and whatnot, or they had kind of had a rough stretch in the beginning or the middle of the season, or didn't finish strong, that would have been a better matchup. But because of their record, because everyone takes their foot off the gas, because, it's just a regular season. You can rest guys. Now, you kind of eliminate load management because the regular season means a little bit more. I like the concept.
I don't think you eliminate load management in a sense. He's still going to get load management regardless.
Well, no, this is the thing. Listen, and the argument I have against load management is that these guys have a lot more. There's a lot more running, right? There's a lot more torque. There's a lot more stress on the body. So I get it that load management is a thing, and I'm not necessarily against it. Only time I'm against it is when it's the primetime games, right? Like let's say it's a Saturday, Clippers versus Lakers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Kawhi sitting and LeBron and AD's playing and Paul George and fucking Montrezl Harrell's out there trying to lead the team, or Lou Williams. I don't want to see that. Gear up for those games, right? If you're playing the freaking Orlando Magic, listen, I'm cool with just paying the ticket to see Paul George versus Aaron Gordon and Markelle Fultz. That's fine. I say get up. I say get up for the primetime games. But what even though you can't fully eliminate load management, what you can do is give more incentive to play harder, to sit less games, and go out there and put a show on the fans, and then it gives the fans a little bit. It's like March Madness for the whole season. You know what I'm saying? Where everybody kind of got their brackets, or they're guessing their brackets or whatever. And it makes it interesting. Why not now? The season's going to start a little bit later. I do agree with you, Sherm, that it should start in December. I'm okay with that. I think that'll be amazing if it starts in December. That's when it feels like basketball is around anyway.
Right. And then after that case, when you get to December, the NFL season is pretty much ending. They're getting into their playoffs now. That's wild card weekend, basically.
Yeah.
And by that time, there's less teams out there. I mean, they're good. The NFL's going to get their number because of playoff time, but the league will start to gain its traction, stuff like that. And then when February comes, the Super Bowl will be over, and then the league will have February all the way till July.
Yeah.
All the way till July. And then you have baseball. But then baseball, I don't know, they're starting to fall off themselves right now. May not even have a season this year to begin with.
I was hearing about that, man.
Because they're trying to sit there and cut their money, and they're not trying to have it.
Yeah.
I understand but players out there playing 100 games, putting their bodies on the line every day, and they play every day.
How many games they play a season?
162.
Yeah, Jesus, I want no part.
And it's played every day almost, with very few breaks in between.
Yeah.
But like I said, the MLB union is very strong. They were okay with having themselves get a cut, like half their pay, but they tried to double down and try to let them cut it again, and try to do somewhere the top players would get less of the money and the smaller players would get most of the money, and that's when everything started to crumble. So you don't even know if you're gonna have a season this year or not. Who knows? Yeah, but for the NBA, this is either way it's good for them, because they're gonna get the whole summer to themselves, or they're going to be competing with baseball. So, and people will watch basketball more than baseball at this point.
Oh, of course, man. Shoot, what else you want to talk? Well, I am excited that it is in Orlando, because I love Orlando.
I know,
but the only thing is that fans won't be able to be in the stadium.